We have published a paper where we have shown a very unique molecular mechanism based on the regulation of brain matrix metalloproteinases that actually helps arteriogenesis in the brain. So it helps develop new blood vessels that will come irrigate the stroke affected site. And the data first came from dogs, which have clearly larger brains. I say larger brain because distances matter. For irrigation, distances matter because the dog brain is more closer to the size of human. And then we went back to the rodent. We could reproduce it, and the rodent helps us understand the pathways. So we now have a knockout animal where tocotrienol don't help. So in order to do that, so you have to be able to, through the pathway it helps, you have to knock it out, and you have to show that it doesn't help anymore. Then you know what pathway. So we have that, and you will see shortly those will be coming up. We also have another major development that we got a lot of pressure on, is that, well, you have published experimentally that stroke you have protected in healthy animals. We'd like to see data on diabetic animals getting stroke. Okay, so it's much more complicated. Their vasculature is much more diseased, so to speak. So we just concluded that study now, and we have data that tocotrienol equally protects in diabetic situation. It's because stroke it does sometimes, but most commonly doesn't happen in a healthy human. It happens in people with other comorbidities. So we have just concluded that. So things at our end look very interesting, and you see I'm not just sitting here doing a 2-year-old study or something. It's a 20-year worth of work. We'd love to see this go through the final phase. So the phase 3 trial is what I'm looking forward to. No, so it was lesser, far lesser, but it was so few subjects that got another stroke, you cannot do statistics. So let me recall, ours that got stroke were like 7 out of 150, and it's supposed to be 15 out of 150. So there was a 50% less of what we were anticipating based on other people's data. And I'm happy about that. I'm just more happy to have, that's a part of my family, those 150 patients, So the lesser of them get stroke is good for me. Bad news is I don't have numbers to now do statistics because they didn't get stroke, which is good. That will come out in the phase 3 trial, because at that point you're dealing with thousands. So whatever small number is much bigger. So less than a year ago or so, the Malaysian Palm Oil Board has commissioned a mechanistic study. We are currently on it. So in about a year, 18 months, I should be able to give you that answer. But we have been able to reproduce that, and we have a mechanistic, but it is too early to comment on that. Absolutely. Traumatic brain injury. Traumatic brain injury, there is a significant implication of glutamate. And we don't do traumatic brain injury because we are sort of locked into stroke. All our resources are locked into stroke. But if somebody did, I would be happy to advise them. And yes, you're right. Traumatic brain injury would be a great place to look. Because glutamate does play a key role. Yeah, thank you. A good answer would be, first, I know it will not hurt you, if that is any answer. The second answer to that is tocotrienol significantly accumulates in the subcutaneous fat. And I just show you a little bit of data today that in the skin, it seems to have, forget the hair follicles for a second, it seems to have a significant impact on expanding the stem cell reservoir of the skin. So that's in one direction. You see, we don't get sick in a day. So I've talked about liver, I talked about brain, I talked about skin. And if you look at life in a given way, all of us are heading towards one disease or the other.